Hello, class. My name is Bradley Walker, and I'm here today to talk about why Derek should not fight against the Holacracy. First, I want to break down some of the differences between a traditional company and versus a Holacracy. Some of the main difference you see are job description versus roles. Job descriptions are sometimes vague and misleading, and they're rarely updated and kind of inaccurate and leave a lot of gray areas. Most of the time, people within the a company don't actually do everything that's in their job description, or they may not do anything that's even on their job description or more. This can lead to demotivating an employee versus a role where people are actually doing the job or the role describes the actual work that they do. I had an example of an employee that was at the company just previously left. He was doing a job duty that was someone else's, and he just was constantly upset every time the next individual got, credit for the work that was being done. So, in that instance, being placed in a role would have benefited them a little bit better. So, the next area is holacracy focuses more on circles and grouping individual roles that are similar in purpose around each other versus separate departments. So traditional organizations generally use departments and kind of categorize people according to, whatever task that they're doing versus the circles, grouping people based off of the purpose and a focus. So the problem with that is the departments begin to think that once they accomplish their specific task, that their overall is done. And, anytime that there's a problem, they begin to point fingers at the other department. Whereas in circles and roles, there's an overall goal for the company as a whole. And you don't really feel a sense of accomplishment until the overall task is done. For instance, working at a granite company, there was a fabrication shop that actually cut and installed the granite versus a sales location. So a salesperson would say, "Hey, I sold $15,000," and would get all excited, be ready for a commission. But that was only done once the job was fabricated and installed. So, the next portion is self-management versus just regular traditional management. Holacracy distributes authority. They basically break it down with a rep link, a facilitator, and a secretary. And I'm the first to say that I hate to be micromanaged. And, for the holacracy standpoint, it's more of a leadership position to give people incentive to do more and to motivate themselves. So the next thing with holacracy that could possibly help, I know Robbins and Judge talks about some communication barriers, and being that this company is a global company, with them being able to self manage themselves, it can help them in terms of communication. With some of the differences in languages and cultures, maybe misinterpreting certain words of management or tones. In many situations, holacracy will eliminate some of those communication barriers. So, for me, I think that it's better. Thank you.